Happy New Year from the stables of the Tribune. We wish this year 2025 brings you a lot of good health, happiness, and prosperity in your lives. I'm Ruchika Khanna, and I'm joined by my colleague Rajmeet Singh in this episode of Decode Punjab, where we discuss what the year 2025 holds for Punjab, both economically and politically. So, Rajmeet, what do you think the year 2025 holds for Punjab? Or for that matter, what is it that the Punjabis look forward to in 2025?
Punjabis are looking forward to an amicable solution to the farmers' agitation, which has been going on for long. It is causing economic loss and other law and order problems in the state. Second, the Punjabis are looking forward to improvement in the tertiary healthcare, more recruitment of teachers in the schools, more eminence schools of eminence in Punjab, and most importantly, bringing more industry to Punjab to increase the employment avenues.
Okay.
Ruchika, what changes do you see in the economic landscape in the coming year?
So, Rajmeet, there are two aspects to answering this question. A, what happens to the state's economy? So, here I'm talking about the state's finances. And then, generally, what happens in the state which will actually bring, economic upliftment of the people. So, in terms of the state's economy, I don't see a very major change happening. Punjab's economy is actually hanging by a thread. The public debt is burgeoning. It is actually burgeoning at the seams. The state is finding it very difficult to meet its committed liabilities. I mean, they faltered once in September. In the August salaries, they were unable to pay in time. So they faltered once in September. The debt is rising. The avenues of increasing revenue for the state government are very, very limited after the GST rollout. So that is one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is that for some reason, Punjab government has not been able to attract private industry. Even the industry of Punjab, which is going in for expansion, they're not going in for brownfield expansions. They are actually going in for greenfield expansions, but it is outside the state. So as a result, when your industry, when your trade do not want to expand in your state and they go elsewhere, what they're doing is they're also taking away a lot of employment avenues out of Punjab. And unemployment undoubtedly continues to be Punjab's biggest bane as of date. So when we talk of unemployment, I was just looking at the data and I realized that the unemployment rate in Punjab is 7.7%, which is much higher than the national average of 6.7%.
Yeah.
Do you foresee that in 2025, the youth of Punjab will get more jobs here, considering that Canada is no longer as attractive a destination, as good a greener pasture as it was a couple of years ago, considering the local politics there and the local economic situation there. So, how do you think the employment rate in Punjab would improve? Do you think youth will get better job opportunities here?
The government has been talking about, discouraging youth from going to abroad and bringing more employment avenues in Punjab. But as you mentioned about the figures, it is certainly a worrisome issue. And I think basically we need to bring more industry to Punjab to increase the employment avenues, as the government is claiming that it has given 50,000 jobs, but still, so many posts are still vacant. I think the people are looking forward to more employment avenues in the coming year.
Okay. So a lot of times when we talk to industrialists, when we interview them, the big industrial houses who come to Punjab in the hope of, just exploring if they can actually bring in, the industry here, they can actually bring in investment here. One of the major things that they talk about is the fact that the Punjabi youth are not, their skills are not very job oriented. They're not suited to the needs of the industry. Since you cover technical education, do you agree with this this synthesis that
Yes,
the industry
certainly.
has?
Yeah, industry requires skill-based techniques, which is certainly missing in the youth. But now the Department of Technical Education has introduced a lot of skill-based courses, and they are tying with the industry like Maruti, Samsung, Hyundai, and they are introduced courses like artificial intelligence and drones technology, and then EV battery. Because the EV vehicles are coming in Punjab, they don't have the mechanics for that. So they are working, but the pace is not up to the mark as required. The industry, so that's why they're tying up with the industry, and the industry looks for youth from outside the state. That is one of the reasons. Ruchika, one of the important questions I would like to ask you is about, in the coming year, how do you see the changing, the role of AAP in Punjab politics with the changing equations in the party?
So, the past year, 2024, was a year of elections, as we've often spoken in our show. In 2024, the year began, in March, the Model Code of Conduct was imposed for the Lok Sabha elections. As soon as the Lok Sabha elections ended, we had the Model Code of Conduct in place for the Jalandhar bypoll. The Jalandhar bypoll ended, and then we had the Panchayat polls. After the Panchayat polls, we again had the assembly elections. And after the assembly elections, we ended the year with yet another civic polls, which is the municipal elections. So this whole year, the government has not been able to roll out any of its agendas. Whatever agendas they did have, and considering the very limited fiscal space that they have, they've not been able to roll out their agendas. So I see that in the coming year, which will also be getting the party close to the 2027 elections, the party will practically have just 2 years, the 2025 and 26, like 1.5 years before the real politic takes over and everybody gets into the assembly election mode. So I do see that the party is going to make changes in its way of governance. Since you also asked me about the changing equations within the party, so I think a lot will depend on what happens in the party after the Delhi assembly polls, which are due in February. So we'll have to wait for the assembly polls at the Delhi assembly polls, and also the result of the assembly polls to decipher on what happens within Aam Aadmi Party. Congress is the principal opposition party in Punjab, right? The elections that have been held this year, except for the Lok Sabha elections, the Congress has not done very well in any of the other elections. There have been voices of dissent within the Congress. Do you see any changes happening in the Congress leadership in the coming year?
Yeah, certainly. What we hear is that towards April, the state unit president of different states of the party are expected to change. So Punjab would be one of them. Moreover, because now there is a talk in the party after the Aam Aadmi Party made Aman Arora as the Hindu chief. So the lobbying in the Congress has also started. Leaders like Vijayendra Singla, Bharat Bhushan Ashu has recently came out of jail after the FIR was quashed. So yeah, there is a churning in the party which is going on, that we need to prepare ourselves for the 2027 assembly elections.
So this would be after how long that Punjab Congress would have a Hindu leader?
President, I think for so many years they've been Jat has been a Jat dominated party. The CLP
Jat
leader,
or the Dalit dominated?
Dalit dominated. Jat, yeah. The CLP leader is Jat Sikh, and Pradhan is a Jat Sikh. Earlier Captain Amrinder Singh was a Jat Sikh, and Sunil Jakhad, who is moved to BJP, was a Jat leader. So that power equation will certainly, it will, we will see the churning in the coming months. Ruchika, the BJP, after improving its vote share in the Lok Sabha poll, has fared very badly in the by-elections, and then in the Panchayat election, then in the civic body. What role do you see, and how they are going to, increase their traction among the Sikh voters, which this seems so far not, they have been successful so far?
See, one thing we must admit that considering the fact that there's been a lot of flip-flop within the BJP over the status of the BJP state president, Mr. Sunil Jakhad. Secondly, within the BJP also, I mean, nationally, Punjab is not that important for the party. Mainly, Punjab's importance for them mainly lies in the fact that it's a border state, and it is a border state with enemy country. So that is why strategically it's very important for the BJP to have some kind of control over Punjab. This said, I think the coming year would see a change in the BJP leadership, and also the political strategy that they adopted during the Lok Sabha elections. I think they will continue to work towards that, which is that they did not polarize the voters along the religion lines. they polarize the voters along the caste lines. So as I see it, they are trying very categorically. They're trying to make it, a caste. I would not call it a caste war. I would say a caste. A caste demarcation
Driven,
between
caste driven.
yeah, a
Yeah.
caste demarcation between the Jats and everybody else. So I think they will continue to work
And
towards that.
especially in wake of this farmers' agitation.
Of course,
What-
because the
what,
farmers'
uh,
agitation is again being seen as a very Jat-dominated
Jat-dominated, yes.
this thing. If you look at it, if you compare this farmers' agitation with the 2020 farmers' agitation, you would see that in 2020, there were other stakeholders in the farm economy
Yes.
who were supporting the farmers. These included the Artiyas, which are the Hindus, and
Yes, sir.
who are also not just, I mean, they're Hindus. Then farm laborers who,
Farmers, Bazur sahab, yes.
they were also the ones who were supporting.
Yes.
But in this agitation, I don't think these two stakeholders have played a very significant role. Uh, since we're talking about this whole caste politics and the religion politics, how do you think Akali Dal is going to fare in 2025? That is the big question.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Because I mean, after all, a party as old as Akali Dal and the only regional party of Punjab, till a couple of years back, they would pride in calling themselves the political arm of the Sikhs. So with the political arm of the Sikhs being in complete disarray, how do you think things would change in
I think
this year?
Punjabis are looking forward, it's going to be year for Akali Dal. Whether the resurgence of Akali Dal happens with or minus Sukhbir, because the reports we are getting is that they are going to ask, the committee is going to ask about the resignation of Sukhbir. So, and moreover, all the political parties, especially the Congress, have been very vocal that we need a strong secular Panthak party like Akali Dal. Otherwise, the fanatic, the hardliners.
For that matter, BJP
Yes,
has also been,
very
Mr.
Sunil
Jakhar has
Jakhar
been
yes.
talking about it. Yeah.
So to maintain that balance, and moreover, BJP not being able to make inroads into the traction among the Sikh voters, so it needs a regional party. So reconstructed Akali Dal minus Sukhbir, more secular face would be a better option for BJP also, and for the national security reasons also. And so I think
from what you're hinting at, do you perceive that there's the BJP will help in a reconstruction of the Akali Dal, and also later on look at a political tie-up with that reconstructed Akali Dal? Is that what you're hinting at?
See, in the by-elections, they had fielded former Akali leaders. So they were trying to, gauge the reaction of the Sikh voters. Ki how does it hasn't fared well. So certainly in their mind that Akali element, the Akali voter, the Panthak voter is certainly in their mind, which they are not able to, attract. So this there has been going on. There are talks with leaders that we need a regional party. I think it won't. They won't be able to sail through without that.
So how and when this will happen, only time will tell. Thank you for watching this episode of Decode Punjab from the stables of the Tribune. We wish you and your family a very happy new year. Please continue to read your favorite newspaper, which is the Tribune. Please continue to follow us on all our social media platforms across X, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Thank you.